Picture this. It's been 3 days. Trapped in a room. You don't know where you are. You don't know where you've been. And you don't know exactly how you got into this room. The door's been open, but you can't leave. You don't know why you can't leave. Maybe because you're trapped in a chair. Your legs are tied to the chair. You look around this room. There's a lot in this room. But you look around this room. You look to your left. You see a cockroach on the wall. You look up to the ceiling. To your right. There's a fly on the ceiling. You look to the floor. And what you hope, what you believe is a spider is on the floor. It's been there for all 3 days that you've been in this room. And in this room with you is just those 3 things. I lied to you when this room was populated. You aren't in this room, you're in that room. The room that you're in right now. The room that you've been in for 3 days. Now picture this. You don't know when was the last time you drank. You don't know the last time you ate. Nor do you know the last time you used the bathroom. Now that smell in the corner could be from you, or it could just be a musty little thing in the corner. You don't know because you've never looked. This isn't an inspirational speech, by the way. This is just a hypothetical. You turn your head to the left. This is my left. Might be your right. I don't know how this video is going to turn out. You ask the cockroach on the wall. Cockroach, where am I? Cockroach, of course, doesn't respond. It's a cockroach. What were you thinking? Did you think that was going to work? Did I think that was going to work? Of course not. Because I know what's working or what's not. But do you know? You look up to the ceiling. You ask the fly, Fly? Fly, where am I? Now, flies, often known for their devious little... They also don't speak English, nor really any human language. They're flies. What do you expect? But you ask again, Fly, do you know where I am? You don't ask where they think you are, or where they know you are. You ask where you are. Do you know where I am? The fly, of course, being a fly, doesn't respond because it's a fly. I mean, what do you expect? It's a fly. It's not going to answer. It's like a cockroach. It's a bug. Right? Of course. The cockroach isn't going to answer. The fly's not going to answer. But maybe the arachnid on the floor. I mean, that's not a bug, so maybe it does speak English. Or whatever language you just so happen to speak. You look down. You ask the spider that hasn't moved in 3 days. You're not sure if it's a spider. You don't know if it's even alive. You believe so. You think so. I mean, it hasn't moved, but that's not an indicator that it's dead. Just an indicator that it hasn't moved. You look down. You ask the spider, Spider? Spider. Where am I? The spider just looks back blankly into your eyes. I mean, it's a spider. What do you expect? I mean, you're asking where you are. The spider doesn't even know what's going on. You don't even know if the spider's been in here longer than you have. But the spider does something curious. You've been here for 3 days. You think 3 days. I mean, you don't know. You don't have a clock. You don't have your phone. You don't have a wristwatch to tell the time. You just think it's been 3 days. The spider does something curious that it hasn't done in 3 days. It moved. Not a lot, mind you. But it moved a little bit. The spider being a spider, of course, a bug, an arachnid. Some say that bugs and arachnids are a completely different thing, but they're all some form of creepy crawly. Am I right, fellow kids? No, I'm wrong. Spiders are arachnids. Maybe that's why, when you asked the question, it moved. It did something. It responded to you. And the only way that a spider knows how to move. Turn your head back to the left. You ask again, cockroach of the wall, on the wall, the wall. Where are we? The cockroach, of course, being a cockroach, doesn't say anything. It's a cockroach. It doesn't even move, really. It just kind of sits there on the wall. Now you think to yourself, wow, did I really just ask the cockroach again where I am? I mean, I've already asked this question before. But it being a cockroach doesn't care. It's a cockroach. You're pretty sure you've seen it move a few times over the course of the past 3 days, but like the spider, you don't know. You look up to the ceiling, you see the fly. It's doing this. You know it's alive. You know the spider's alive. You know it's doing its little, I'm gonna tell you a secret. Yeah. If you get too close, woo. Because that's what flies do. They're tricksters, commonly known. But they don't speak. So you turn your head back up to the fly. You ask, Fly? Fly, where am I? Where are we? What are we even doing here? And the fly, knowing a lot, but also knowing nothing, because it's a fly, continues to look at you. And then moves closer. You don't know what brought on the, movement, but you think to yourself, wow. Maybe it was something I said. So you ask again, Fly, why are we here? Fly moves a little closer. You think to yourself, that's kind of creepy. I don't like flies. I don't want the fly any closer. So you look back down to the spider. The spider's still sitting there. Except it's not sitting there anymore. It's got a leg raised. Just one, though. Just one. You ask the spider on the floor, Spider, will you help me? The spider, being a spider, of course, doesn't. Why should it help you? You've never done anything for it. It's a spider on the floor. Reminder, this isn't a philosophy that the spider holds. This is just a spider. It's what spiders do. They just do their thing. They're spiders. I mean, what do you expect a spider to come over and, oh, the spider's let you free. You look down and the spider's no longer there, but you also look down at your legs. There are no ropes on your legs anymore. You don't know what happened to the ropes. Maybe the ropes weren't there in the first place. No, of course not. You would have moved if there were no ropes on your legs. You would have walked out the door. But now you're curious. You look up to the fly and you ask, Fly, what the hell just happened? The fly, of course, being a fly, goes and doesn't do anything. Because it's a fly. Cockroach on the wall, cockroach, what happened? And the cockroach, being a cockroach, begins to fly towards you. Now that scares the bejesus out of you, because if you've ever seen a cockroach fly, God, those things are scary. You don't move. Is there something binding you to that chair? You look back, the cockroach never moved. It's still there. Or maybe it flew back? Perhaps. But it's still in the same spot. You look back down, you don't see the spider anymore. The spider's gone. The door is a little shut now. It's not quite shut. You could leave if you wanted to, but do you want to? You've spent 3 days in this room with a cockroach, a fly, and a spider. Now the spider's gone, but the fly and the cockroach are still here. You don't even know if the spider's gone. I mean, maybe he just walked behind you. No, the spider's not there. Underneath you? No. No, the spider's not there. You look back to where the spider used to be. The spider's not there. It's gone. It's gone forever. I mean, it's out the door. It left. It untied you. It helped. It said you could go free. Well, it didn't say anything. It's a spider. Spiders can't speak. Neither can flies or cockroaches, but you kind of developed a parasocial relationship with this cockroach that's on the wall and the fly on the ceiling, and you think to yourself, wow, am I going crazy? You're not going crazy, you just so happen to make friends with a fly and a cockroach. But are they really your friends? I mean, you've just kind of been in a room with them for 3 days. You don't even know if you slept yet. Are you feeling tired? A little bit. You close your eyes, you fall asleep, you think, you hope, you don't know, because time doesn't pass, because you don't know if time passes. You're in a room with a fly and a cockroach, no longer a spider, and you look up to the fly in the corner of the room on top of the ceiling, and you ask yourself, what am I still doing here? What am I doing here in a room with a fly and a cockroach? I don't even like cockroaches. They're creepy, they're crawly. When they fly, they're big. But you keep standing there. Now, standing. You realize you're standing. You never realized you were standing. You didn't stand, you just are standing. You look back towards the door right behind you. You think it's behind you. You don't really know. It's pretty dark room. You don't even know how you can see the fly quite well, or the cockroach. But you turn towards the door, you say to yourself, I could leave right now. There's nothing stopping me from leaving. So why don't I? The fly in the corner, of course, as it is, it's still rubbing its little meaty little claws together like, I'm gonna tell you a little secret. You wanna know my secret? Well, you can't because it's a fly. What did you expect? You think you can start speaking fly? I mean, that's crazy talk. Maybe you're crazy. Maybe you've gone crazy in this room with a fly, a cockroach, and the spider. You're starting to miss the spider, aren't you? I mean, he set you free. I mean, he could have killed either the cockroach or the fly, but he never did. I miss the spider too. But I don't think I'll miss the cockroach when I leave the room. And the fly won't miss either of us. I mean, flies have what, a lifespan of like a week? A month, I think? I don't know the average lifespan of a fly. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a biologist. But I know I won't miss it either. And it won't miss us. Perhaps we should follow the spider. Or we could stay in the room. I mean, the room, we've kind of gotten attached to the room. I mean, we got a chair, a smell in the corner. I mean, what's there not to want in the room? I mean, cockroaches. You're just starting to grow on them. You're starting to grow on you. There's no cockroach there anymore. He left the room a while back in like 3 minutes ago. Now it's just you and this fly. Will you leave the room? Leave the fly by himself in the room? I mean, sure, the fly's gonna die in a few, maybe hours, maybe days, but like, you've made friends with the fly, haven't you? I mean, he's on the ceiling. He's been watching you. He's been watching everything. He's been watching all of this go on. But the fly on the roof, on the ceiling, why is he still just watching? Why hasn't he left the room? Why haven't you left the room yet? Why did the spider and the cockroach leave the room? I mean, sure, maybe it's because the room doesn't have much food and you've been kind of sitting there and nothing's really happened. And it hasn't been 3 days, you don't think. You don't know. You don't care. You kind of enjoyed your time here. Enjoyed the time thinking about whether a spider or a cockroach or a fly could talk. And you think to yourself, wow, I spent 3 days in a room with a fly, a cockroach, and a spider, and now 2 of them have left, and so have I.